Holding new shoes. Ni hao fashionista bagus. Betul dia ni makeup ini workshop.
Just curious, for the filmmakers, how much footage do you shoot to edit down to this 1 hour? Or you managed to?
I think we roughly had about more than 40 hours.
Wow. So during the editing, is just yourself facing the computer, or you run it past like with?
I think Razin is the editor.
Yeah.
Razin edited the whole thing, so I will sit in with him.
Maybe I'll just phrase it that you talk to the band, like, can we show this or should we do that? Yeah.
Actually, I think we were quite happy that the band left everything to us.
We said, but they didn't listen.
Okay. I think it was important for us to be a bit selfish in this. When we started this project, honestly, it was for selfish reasons. We were bored and we needed something to do. But I guess it was very important for us that it was an independent film. It was not to promote the band. And honestly, when we started it, it was not to advocate like the local music scene or anything like that. We just wanted to tell the story and tell it the best we could. And I think by telling this story, people get to know more about the band, more about the scene. And I guess that's just a bonus for us. But at the end of the day, we wanted it to just be that, an independent story about the band and nothing more.
Hey, this one's for the band members. Like, I'm very jealous you guys get to go to South by Southwest. So just a question and curious. How's the music scene like? How's the vibe like in the festival at South by Southwest as compared to, let's say, the local music festivals like Bay Beats or Singfest?
You can't compare. For those of you that's not familiar, I mean, South by Southwest is one of the largest music festivals in the world. So obviously, being invited to play is a huge, huge honor. And I think to date, only about 5 or 6 Singaporean acts have been invited since 2007, I think. But it's also a very different sort of festival. The festivals that you get here in Singapore are primarily centered in one venue. South by Southwest is held in Austin, Texas. It's a whole city at play. You will not see anything like it because music is played across 800 stages. Clubs, to bars, to parking lots, to churches, to pubs, to everything. Everywhere you go is someone who's interested in music, from whatever type of genre that you like to the most extreme sort of music that you can find. And I mean, we were surprised. I think when we were there, the vibe. While we were excited to play, I think we were more excited to watch the other bands that we never could have watched, if we were in Singapore. And everywhere we went, just imagine if it was downtown Orchard Road, the whole stretch is just alive with music. And it's an experience. I think if you ever go and venture there, it's, you really feel that this is a city that knows how to play. This is a city that respects a tradition that has grown over the years. I think it's about 20 odd years that the festival is run, and you would see all sorts of people just having a fun and great time, and I don't see that happening in Singapore. I mean, unfortunately. So while I think there are good things happening for music here as well, the South by Southwest experience is completely different. I mean, it's something that we will always hold close to our hearts.
Oh, and plus, this wasn't in the documentary, but we had to rent our own backline. So for every show that we did, we had to settle our own equipment. Like, we bought our guitars and stuff and drumsticks and stuff, but the thing is, we didn't have our own drum sets and bass amps. Hey, hello, hey. So the thing is, we had to rent our own gear throughout the whole entire tour. So for that regard, like, people are always bitching about like the local music scene and blah, 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 but the thing is, people are doing it right over there. I mean, like, it's subjective like what right is, but you know it was an eye opener, I guess. But
You know, with that said, it was a huge financial investment also for the band. I mean, well, we got grants and all that. We put in a lot of our own money as well. We we took, I don't know, we flew 11, we took 11 flights in 19 days. Yeah, it was annoying because we spent so much time flying, and we drove. Well, the drive was fun, but they left the two drivers and everybody else slept. So only myself and Errol, who's our manager, drove while everybody snored in the car. Um, but you know, the experience of what Farizwan said, like, you know, I mean, really doing everything. You know, we put up posters or flyers or gave out to people, you know, just to invite them to the shows. We set up our backlines. We met a lot of friends people that we played with. We had generosity from Americans that, you know, were curious as to why a band from Singapore would be touring in that part of America, and we bonded as a group as well. I think that was probably one of the most important things for us.
and another thing I'd like to add, like it was all fun and stuff, but I think by towards the end of the tour, we were all, like me and John, I think we were kind of homesick, so we resorted in getting like Asian food. That was like $10 per plate, and it wasn't really nice. Like I wanted them like to make it spicy, but they don't like Asian spicy, so it's a bit different. And what else happened? Oh, I was stuck at the LA airport for two hours. So, is it 3 hours? Yeah, they didn't have it on the thing, but that could have been a story as well.
Before we were going, you know, with 9/11, with our visa issues, etc., we were wondering whether anybody, formerly boys entering the US, lots of gear, looking quite dubious. We were wondering whether we would have any problems. He was the most worried because his name had a Muhammad. He was the one that was detained by American immigration. For 3 hours, we had no clue. His phone wasn't switched on because it couldn't be switched on, right?
No, there wasn't any
reception, okay. So, and we had a connecting flight, and we were wondering whether we were going to see him on that flight. And we had to
So I was running without socks, right?
Yeah.
so we had some problems. We had problems along the way, but you know, I mean, it's all good.
Here we have time for one last question.
Will you guys be mentally prepared for something like this to happen again, and what will you guys have done differently?
I mean, hindsight is 20/20 vision, right? Some of the things that when we experienced it at the moment, it was so difficult, but then having lived through it, we're wondering now why was it like that? It could have been so much simpler. So, you know, to answer your question, whether we have the mindset, I think we're smarter about certain things now, obviously. Whether we want to relive some of those moments again, I don't think we want to. But I think, you know, all of us have been playing music since our teens, and we're all in our 30s now. So you imagine we've been involved in the band scene, individually, all of us for about 20 years in different bands, and David Sparkle has been around for 10 years as well. So we're not quitters, you know, we will. I mean, obviously, you know, while we hope that there will be some sort of financial success so that we can make music our day careers, you know, it's very, very tough in Singapore, and that's not a consideration for us now. So we will do this regardless. And if we have problems along the way, I think we will try and see if we can resolve them as a group in order to be able to spread our music and play music, which is ultimately the thing we love most. Right?
Also, working towards getting our drummer Singapore citizenship. I always said that if he ever went to NS, all these problems we have to do, go through all this nonsense. But we're working towards that. So hopefully we'll take out the struggling of the equation anytime soon. Actually, he's Singaporean. He's not.
Actually, the whole thing is scripted.
Good job. Any more questions for them?
Actually, I just want to ask, like, this film probably premiered at SIFF, right? So where do you want to take it to next? Where do you want to screen it?
Where do we go now?
Where do we go now? Yeah.
Of course, we would like to
sea travel also.
Mhm.
That remains to be seen. But on that note, a lot of feedback from our friends and people who were keen to watch this screening that they couldn't get tickets because it's a sold out screening today. So we will be having a second screening with Sinema on the 14th of October at 8:30 p.m. So
Oh.
yeah, hope one sells out too.
Anyway, we're trying to send our films overseas. We have sent it to a few festivals. Still waiting for some replies. But the main reason why we haven't sent it to more festivals is basically money. To send festivals overseas, you need money for registration fees. You need money to send screeners overseas. So this documentary is actually self-funded by the both of us, and I guess we got no more money to send overseas. So we'll be using the proceeds from the 14th October screening to actually hopefully we'll get enough to send to more festivals overseas, and hopefully they will accept.
Any last final question that you are dying to ask?